I got married just over a month ago, and here are some things that I regret from my English wedding. I will say I honestly don't regret much from my English wedding. It was the most beautiful, most perfect day of my whole entire life, and I would live it again and again and again. However, there are some small things that I would do slightly differently if I was to do it again. So these are them. The first one is not planning properly and not discussing how we were going to cut the cake. That sounds really like random, because why would you need to discuss cutting the cake, right? Well, you do. Because when me and Hiren came to cut the cake, we just didn't really know what we were doing. It had suddenly occurred to me that I hadn't really discussed with Hiren how you do the whole, like, I take one piece, he takes another, and we feed each other. I felt like it was kind of an awkward moment of our wedding. We were like cutting the cake, and then we were like, right, where do we put the cake? We didn't have a plate there, which maybe wasn't our fault. Hiren ended up putting like this massive piece of cake in my mouth, which I don't think he meant to do, but I wish I just told him before, like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a small amount of cake and we're going to put it in each other's mouths. The next thing I regret is going last to get my hair done, and this kind of wasn't really the plan, but it just ended up working out that I went last for my hair, and overall just like not really leaving sort of too much time at the end to get my dress on, get my veil on, and just do all the kind of like last little touch-ups before you walk down the aisle. I did end up forgetting to put on body glow, for example, and I did also forget to tell my hairstylist or ask my hairstylist to put in my veil for me. The hairstylist ended up leaving, which wasn't her fault, because I went God knows where to do some photos, and I just realised all of a sudden that I hadn't put my veil in, and it was about time to like walk down the aisle, and I was like, shit. So luckily my content creator Penny, she was just an absolute dream the whole day. She helped me put my veil in, but it would have been a lot nicer if I had actually just like taken a bit more time right at that last kind of like half an hour, and actually spent that doing like the last minute touch-ups rather than kind of like rushing around a little bit. It wasn't sort of too bad, but it definitely could have been better. Another regret is not buying enough confetti. When I was shopping for my confetti online, at the place that I ended up getting my confetti from had a kind of calculator of how much confetti you needed to buy by the amount of guests that you had at your wedding, and the amount of confetti that I had was absolutely fine, but I think if I could do it again, I would go a little bit more dramatic with the confetti and have just a little bit more of it, a little bit more volume there, because in some of the shots I feel like the confetti looks a bit, dare I say, pathetic. It doesn't look pathetic, but I just wish that I had gone a bit more dramatic, ordered a little bit more confetti, and just had it like whoosh, you know? I also definitely have some regrets as well from the Indian/Hindu wedding, so let me know if you want a part 2 and I can talk about the regrets for that wedding.